Why am I doing no damage? I can't hurt this guy. No matter what I do, he just won't die. This is probably you. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably you. This has happened a lot. And you're probably wondering to yourself, why is nothing you're doing, no matter how many mags you've unloaded into this guy, nothing is happening? Look at the top left of my screen. You see that? What does that say? Passive is enabled. You are not able to do any damage. Not able to do any damage. Back up. Let me just watch. Let me show you how to take that off. So first, we go into settings. All the way right here. We go into game. We go down. You see that right there? You see that right there? Passive mode. Let's make sure that right there is off. Okay? Now with that off, let me show you something really crazy. Now, oh my gosh. It says I'm attacking him now and I'm actually doing damage. Wow. Isn't that just amazing? In today's video, I'm going to be explaining you the essential weapons that you're going to be using in a PvP fight here. Now, the two meta weapons to get these out of the way are first, the auto axe. Mine isn't that good on this character, but this is what the weapon looks like. The other meta weapon is going to be the dragon, explosive 20%. This is for crit transferring, which I'll explain after. Now, the weapons if you have these weapons already, we're going to be using other weapons as well, such as the boomstick, which is one of my personal favorites. It works for all of your scummy little invisible people that are in a Chinese stealth suit just lurking around. You just wave it around, aim it in, wave it around, and then they'll lock onto something. You fire the missile, it chases them, kills them. Beautiful. Next weapon, we have the holy fire. Not really that good, in my opinion, but it works on a lot of people. Mine isn't also that good, but a good holy fire, like an assassin's, I don't know, 25, or an anti-armor doesn't really work. I already tried it. And a bloodied, I guess, or a junkies. These could be very useful. It can do a decent amount of damage to people who don't have sizzling style or fireproof. Another thing are grenades. The grenades you want to run, don't just be throwing fucking frag grenades, are pulse grenades or pulse mines. These things are very special for the fact that they ignore all legendary effects on power armor. So, yes, you might be hated by the community, by a decent amount of the community, but you'll also be a better PvPer than them, so just ignore them. Another thing, another essential, this is, in my opinion, a very important device, the cryolator. Now, what you do with this is amazing. It helps for both the meta things, actually. You freeze your opponent like a popsicle, you stun them because you have one gun army, and then after just going up and down, you can either go up and down with them with the auto axe, or you can just throw a grenade at their feet and crit it with a crit transfer. Dragon. Another important thing would be the cold shoulder. Now, if you don't already have this, bro, you're playing the game incorrectly. Because if they don't have a stealth weight on, you just walk up to them with a crit, you do like 900 damage to the head, and your opponent's dead. Done. Move on. The guy's already gone. Another weapon that I don't have on me, sadly, would be the alien blaster. A 2-shot critical damage alien blaster is perfect. Not only for PvE, but for PvP. Because this weapon is very special, because it does, like, for some reason, it hits 4 shots, even though it's only shooting 2 shots. It hits 4 damage types. So with a crit, it does 440 damage. Maybe 500 on lucky day. And that basically kills 90% of the player base on this game. So, yeah. In this one, we're going to be talking about the Stealth Boy. Now, the Stealth Boy is a very important thing in this game. Because, one, it gets you away from those people with bad eyes. And for some reason, you can't see Shimmer walking around, but that's not really important. It also gets you away from those people with railways, fixers, dragons, all that stuff. So you can just survive their little criticals without, really having to survive it. Because they're not really shooting you with it. Now, you're probably wondering, where do I get such a device that does all of these miracles? Let me show you. You go on the map. You go to White Springs. Make sure you look at White Springs, okay? I'm going to zoom in for you. Right there. Let me make sure it's hovering over it perfectly. White Springs Bunker. You go in there. Go to a little term. There's a whole video most likely on it. Just look up the fucking video. Right here I have my friend. My friend is going to help me demonstrate how this whole one-gun army perk works. and how we're going to be using it here. So I'm going to start shooting at him. He's going to start healing. You see how he's getting frozen? Now, you see that? That stun right there is very important for this one gun army thing. He's frozen and getting stunned. It makes it a lot harder for him to spam stim packs. Make it a bit harder for him to survive. Obviously, he tanked it. He has a better build. Okay, I'm going to be popping a stealth boy here. My friend here is going to throw a mine down and crit it. Now, you're probably wondering, how did he just do that? Your health just launched down. This is where that health is very important. Because to a crit transfer, if you're not over 600, it's like you don't even have health to begin with, okay? They're going to fucking play with you out there. So you're probably asking yourself another question. How do I get my health to 600? But it's only at 300. It's only at 200. Your endurance. Your perk cards on your endurance. Just read them. Okay. Now, you're probably going to get stuck at 400. Okay. But let's talk about foods. I'm glad Yasmin's right here. So Yasmin is a very... Shut up. She's a very important character in this. Very important. If you don't own her, there's other alternatives. So you talk to her. Skip her fucking dialogue or whatever. Choose what I'm choosing. And then in here, she can be selling energy resistance foods like she's selling right here, which are very useful for pulse grenades, which people like to cry about. She could be selling a crit tea, which brings the crit transfer. It makes it better. She'd be selling melee foods if you want that too. And she could also be selling my beautiful and favorites right here. That's called aged Mirelurk meat, which brings your endurance up by 6 if you're running the right stuff. Or 8, whatever. She could also be selling dog meat steak. Very easy to craft, by the way. Very easy. Honestly, I would go for that over anything. Between the aged Mirelurk and dog meat steak, choose that one. She'd be selling that, but she could also be selling cranberry meatball grinder. Now, this one, chef kiss. Oh my gosh, the help you get from this beats everything. You can get 150 if you use a certain magazine, or you can just get 80 or 100. These are the 3 things you can get. 80 if you don't have stranger numbers, you're not on a team. 100 if you're on a team with stranger numbers, and 150 if you have all that plus a magazine, which we'll get into that later. Now, if you don't have Yasmin, you're probably gonna end up going to this location, which is White Springs Resort. Now, I'm gonna head there, right? I'm gonna show you everything you have to do, right? Because a lot of people don't really explain it, but when you go here, you're really just gonna follow everything I do. Once you get inside of the resort, you're going to follow everywhere I go. We're going to run over here, past this bot, into the green floor place, and you're going to, if you're in Power Armor, get a Power Armor. You can't sit down, because you have to sit down on these chairs. You're going to go to this chair right here, or any chair. Just mainly, I think it's just this table, though, but just sit in that chair. Just follow what I'm doing. You're going to wait for one of these waiter bots or whatever to come take your order. Okay. Now, they can be selling literally everything I just told you about Yasmin. They could be selling. They could also be selling Death Call Wellington and all that stuff. As you can see, the melee foods are here, but the health foods are not. Because it's not a guaranteed chance that they'll actually be here. Probably going to have to server hop a lot. Now, I'm going to show you where the vodka's at. Another very important thing is alcohol and Party Boy. This guy's going to be selling Mountain Honey, that other moonshine thing, and vodka. He's always going to be selling at least 3 vodka, which is about 11 caps. Unless you have a lot of in charisma, it'll be around 11 caps, 12 caps, 13, I don't fucking know. And you're going to buy this, like I just did. I'm going to show you what the vodka does, if you don't already know. Just look at everything. 75 extra HP. Amazing. The more health, the better. The more you survive. Your health is like your ammunition in a way. But if you're too lazy and you don't want to go here because you kept server hopping, you didn't get anything, Just go to Nuka World on tour. That lady that sells a bunch of foods like pastries and stuff, she sells a Nuka dog. You can get 60 HP from that if you want to rock that, I guess. But we're going to move on to another important step, which is mutations. Now, you probably took a bath in rads when you went to West Tech, farming all fucking day, right? So, throw all your fucking shit away if it's not the same as this. Now, I do have something on here that shouldn't be here, which is unstoppable isotope. Don't have it. Actually, no, do have it. Trust me, very useful. Bird bones, you're gonna need it. It's fall slower. Carnivore, the definite. If you're not running carnivore, all the food shit I just told you is irrelevant. So you need this. If you run herbivore, you're gonna die. I'm sorry, I can't help you after that. Chameleon, needed. I'll explain that later. Eagle eyes, needed for crit transfers. Marsupial, needed. I don't know why you went running in the first place. Scaly skin, again, needed. Speed demon, needed. I don't know what else to tell you. Everything is right here. Now we're going to tackle another thing. Aid. Aid is another very important thing. In this one, we're going to be talking about bobbleheads, magazines, and Psycho Buff. Now, the bobbleheads you're going to be needing for a crit transfer are very fucking simple. Explosive. Done. What does that do? Read it. Here, I'll put it on the screen for you. Fucking read it. There you go. Buns and bullets 3. Another very important thing for the crit transfer. Because if your crit isn't like above 200%, 200, 250%, you're not killing anyone, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll kill the weaklings, but you're not killing the strong. Psycho Buff. Now, if you're not running Psycho Buff for this, honestly, stop PvPing. If you're running Psycho Tats, maybe a bit of overdrive, I can understand. But Psycho Tats and Psycho buff out, buff Tats? What are you, suicidal? My goodness. Not only does this give you extra health, but it gives you extra damage. So why are we not running this? Simple. Okay, I'm glad we understood that. Now, I also forgot to explain a very important mutation. Not very important. So it's really it can be at times. I don't have it, but it's called Grounded. What Grounded does is it gives you more energy resistance, but it takes away your energy damage, which could be annoying in a way. Because when they say energy damage, they don't just mean energy weapons. They also mean guns like flamethrowers, cryolators. They also mean those weapons as well. Auto axe with a certain mod on the electric mod, they mean that as well. So if you have Grounded on and you're wondering why your cryolator and all that shit isn't doing a lot of damage, probably because you have Grounded on. Now you're probably wondering, so why don't I just take it off? You could, but you also could just have a bunch of them and just keep popping them every hour. So you basically still have the positive effect, but you don't have the negative effect, which is doing less damage with other weapons. Right here, we have a couple of people. A guy in excavator, probably going to sit there and do nothing. And I think there was another guy. Oh, yeah, a guy with a minigun, probably going to also do nothing. And some other guy sitting out, other two, actually. Now, we're going to see how they fare against someone with the appropriate build, if they ever go in the doors at all. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this base design? What is it for? It's more like an arena. Because there's this thing people like to do when they like to take your stealth boy off of you, using various glitches and shit. And when you have a bounty, it just makes it kind of unfair. They just one-shot you. So we designed this base for it. Oh, we got 2 people. Okay. Now, I shut their door so they can't leave. And then we watch. As you can see from my buddy's health, Cyber Gaming, he's taken barely any damage here, barely any visible damage. This is what the Crowdleader does. Freezes them. Makes it very annoying to move around. Now this guy is quite tanky. This one right here is very tanky. But he's done one error. And he hasn't popped the stealth boy yet. Which means something like that could happen. This is why we like to say, pop a stealth boy. That right there. Huh. Would you look at that? A low level with a 20 cap bounty. I'm around level 99. I could take him. Definitely an easy kill. Something like that. Where is he? Oh, I see him. Wait, his health keeps rubber banding. Why isn't he dying to my Queen Killer AR? What the heck? Whoa! What the heck? How'd he kill me? He's gotta be hacking. These are all the things that you probably said when you ran into a low level with the high cap bounty. You see, that right there was a friend of mine who's been doing this for a while now. And he keeps running into the same people who keep saying the same thing. This is not a hacker, ladies and gentlemen. This is someone who's been following the meta just on a low-level character. I'm going to go over there, and he's going to show me all of his weapons. And I'm going to show you that he has everything. So we're here. He's going to show me his weapons. He's got the boomstick, the thing I was talking about, for all the weak people. He's got the cold shoulder for the crit to the head. And he's got his cryolator. These are all essential weapons here, ladies and gentlemen. He even got a dragon. You're probably wondering, how does he have all of this? I thought they only go to 45 and 50. That's the only way they do the max damage. No. You can get all of this at a low-level character. That's how it's been designed. His armor, too? It's just Assassin's low-level. It's so simple. So instead of calling the guy a hacker, just literally just play the game and you'll see that all of these things can be acquired at a lower level. Everything doesn't have to be above level 50. It doesn't have to. You can just be a low level running around PvPing high levels. It still works. As long as you follow the tips, you can do all of this.